Hi everyone, and welcome to today's lesson. It is Wednesday of week 2, and again we are looking at capacity. So let's get started. So let's begin with our maths warm-up activities, and you can use a whiteboard and a marker or a piece of paper and a pencil. Okay, so today our number is 8. And so our answer is always going to be 8. I would like you to come up with 2 questions where the answer will be 8. Now remember, you could do addition, you could do subtraction, you could draw a picture, you can do multiplication, which is our groups of, and because we learnt about sharing last week, you could even do that. So have a go, pause the video, and then come back and we will do some together. Okay, let's get started. So our lucky number today is 8. So I've just written 8 at the top of my whiteboard. And what I'm going to do today is an addition one. And I'm going to do doubles. So if my answer is 8, who knows what my doubles is to make 8? Great, it will be 4 plus 4 equals 8. Just like this, 4 plus 4 equals 8. And another one I was thinking about today is by doing some groups of. So I think if I need my answer to be 8, and I've got it there ready to go, equals 8, how many groups of can do that? Now, we've already done our doubles, 4 plus 4 equals 8. So really, that is 2 groups of 4. So I'm going to switch it around now, and I'm going to do 4 groups of 2. So remember, we know that groups of is repeated addition. So 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. So there's my 4 groups, and I want you to visualize that I've got 2 in each group. So I've got 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, and 2 there. And I'm even just going to draw a picture for you down the bottom to show you what that could look like. So I've got 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 groups. 5, 6. There's my 3rd group and my 4th group. 7, 8. And all together is 8. So 2 groups of 4 equals 8. Well done. I can't wait to see what you came up with today. Another one we're going to do, which I thought could be quite fun. Now, you're going to need to draw a picture. So listen really carefully to the instructions. I can't wait to see what you've come up with today. An alien has 6 eyes, 8 horns, 10 hairs, and a long stripy tail. Draw what that could look like. Now everyone's going to draw something different today, and I think that's the most exciting part. So I'm actually going to rub out my board, and while you do yours, I'm going to do mine as well. So we could do it together. So what's the first thing? An alien has 6 eyes, 8 horns, 10 hairs, and a long stripy tail. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is draw its head. And then I know that I need 6 eyes. So I'm going to draw my 6 eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And yours might look completely different to mine, and that's okay. That's the whole point. So I've got my 6 eyes. I need 8 horns. Okay, horns. I might put my horns on the top of its head. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh my goodness, mine's looking a little bit scary. 10 hairs. What could 10 hairs look like? Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, mine's looking a little bit scary today. Draw what it could look like. Okay. Oh, I forgot the long stripy tail. Okay. So long tail needs to be stripy. So there we go. I'm just colouring it in really quickly so I can show you. And then I'm also going to add a mouth, but you'll have to guess where my mouth is today. Okay, because it might not be down the bottom. I'm just going to do a little one up the top. All right, what do you think of my alien? I've got my 6 eyes, I've got my 8 horns, I've got my long stripy tail, and if you can see right at the top, I have my little mouth. I can't wait to see what you come up with today. Okay, boys and girls, let's get started. Our learning intention today is that we are learning to measure capacity using informal units. Our success criteria is that I can use a plastic cup of water to measure different objects. So let's see what this might look like today. What is capacity? We know that capacity means how much something can hold. Okay, so listening carefully to the instructions today. We are going to measure different objects using a plastic cup. We will estimate how much water each object will hold. When we estimate, it means we are having a sensible guess. We will then order our objects with the smallest capacity to the largest capacity. Watch Miss Good's demonstration video on how to complete the activity. Okay, so let's take a look and then it will be your turn. Hi everyone, now what I'm going to do for you today is demonstrate our activity. Now what we're focusing on is measuring capacity using different objects. Now today I'm going to use a mug, but when you complete the activity you're going to use a plastic cup or any cup that you have at home. Now the 3 objects we're going to measure today are a plastic cup, a bowl and a food container. Now we're going to see how many mugs of water will fill the plastic cup, the bowl and the food container. But before we actually measure these objects, we need to estimate how many we think. So when we estimate, it means that we're having a sensible guess. You need to guess how many mugs of water, or when you do it, how many plastic cups of water will fill these objects. Now the first one I'm going to do is the plastic cup. And I estimate the plastic cup to hold 2 mugs of water, I think. And if you look in there, it's a little bit shorter than this, but it is also wider, so it might hold less. But let's have a look. You can see here that I've got a jug of water and my water bottle to help me measure. So I might use the jug first and again over the tea towel so I don't fill it. So I'm just going to pour that into my mug all the way up to the top. So that will be 1 mug of water. So now I need to pour it into my plastic cup. So I might spill a little bit here. Let's go in. Okay, I was definitely wrong there, wasn't I? I said 2 mugs of water. And if you can see, 1 mug of water is nearly to the top. So if I ended up putting a little bit more water in here and then pouring it in, yes, I still got water in here, so it definitely wasn't 2 mugs. So the plastic cup held around about 1 mug of water. Okay, so I'm going to pour that back into my jug. Now let's try the bowl. What do I estimate here? What's my sensible guess? I estimate that the bowl to hold, if that was only 1 mug of water, this is a bit wider, but it's really shallow. So maybe 2 mugs of water for this one, for my bowl. So let's have a look. I'll pour my water into my mug, because that's my measuring tool today. It's all the way to the top. And let's pour it into the bowl. Let's see if it holds 2 mugs of water, because that was my estimate. Oh, and I'm not sure if you can see that. You can see a little bit, it's almost to the top. So let's see if it will hold 2, and I don't think it will. I think it's going to go over the top. Yes, it sure is. You can see that that is now to the top, and I've still got water left in my mug. I've still got about half a mug of water. So our bowl, the bowl held about 1.5 mugs of water. So it definitely wasn't 2, was it? Okay. I'm very close though. My estimates are very close. Now I need to pour that back in. Oh, you can see I spilled a little bit there. Thank goodness I have my tea towel. Okay, so my plastic cup held 1 mug of water. My bowl held about 1.5. Sorry, boys and girls. Now, my container, how much is that going to hold? Let me have a sensible guess. I'm going to estimate how much mugs of water it will hold. And I'm thinking it has to be 2 here. I truly think it has to be 2 here. So let's have a look. Let's see if I can get this one correct. I've been so close the last 2 times. Okay, there's 1 mug of water. I'm just going to move that over so that I don't spill anything. Okay, let's have a look. There's 1 mug. Let's see if I can fill all this to the top. Okay, so I'm just going to use my other measuring tool that I've been using, my water bottle. I'm going to put that all the way to the top. Okay, so this is 2 mugs of water. Let's see if it makes my container full. Whoa. Look at that, it is so close. You could almost say that's 2 mugs, but there is a tiny little bit. So let's fill up my mug again. I don't think it's going to hold 3 mugs of water, because if it did, I think it would go over the top, and I don't want that happening. Okay. If I go right to the top, it's going to be a bit tricky. And I've still got about half a mug left. So I know you can't see it, but the water is about half full. Okay, so my container held 2.5 mugs of water today. So I was close with my estimates. They weren't exactly correct, but they were sensible guesses. I didn't say 10 mugs of water or 20 mugs, because if I did that, I'd have water all through my apartment right now if I kept going and going. Okay, so now it's your turn, and you're going to do this experiment with a plastic cup or any cup that you have at home. This is going to be your measuring tool, and you're going to have sensible guesses, and you will be filling up a mug, a bowl, and a food container. And again, remember, we all have different things at home. So you might have a larger bowl or a smaller bowl. You might have a larger mug or a smaller one, and your food container might be bigger or smaller as well. Or they could be the same as mine. We can't wait to see what you have come up with. And again, remember to use a towel or a tea towel, because as you can see, you can spill water. You might even like to do this activity outside in the sunshine. Okay, have fun, boys and girls. Okay, everyone, now that I have demonstrated the activity, now that I'm finished, I have created this table. And as you can see, I've got my objects, which is the plastic cup, the bowl, and the food container. Then in my middle column, I've got my sensible guesses, my estimates. And the sentence says, I estimate the plastic cup to hold something mugs of water. And where I have left spaces is for you to fill out. So I'm going to show you my example, and remember, I measured capacity using a mug. And this is what it looks like. So you can see here that I've got my plastic cup and then my estimate. I estimate that the plastic cup to hold 2 mugs of water. Remember, that was my sensible guess. The plastic cup held 1 mug of water. So that's the measurement. That was the capacity. Then I have my bowl. I estimate the bowl to hold 2 mugs of water. The bowl held 1.5 mugs of water. And then my food container, I estimate the food container to hold 2 mugs of water, but the food container ended up holding how much? 2.5 mugs of water. And you can see all of my estimates ended up being 2 mugs of water because I started with the plastic cup and then I did the bowl and then the food container. So I could kind of gauge how much I thought it would hold, and it was always a sensible guess, wasn't it? Okay, so now it's your turn, and you're going to complete the activity using a plastic cup for your measuring tool. Now, if you do not have a plastic cup at home, you can use any cup that you have. It might be a glass, but if you're using a glass, you need to have a parent with you just so you stay safe. And then you're going to complete this table here. So it says measuring capacity using a plastic cup. The objects you're going to measure will be a mug, and then you will also measure a bowl and a food container. And you can complete this table here as well by just filling in these gaps. So you need to estimate how much you think these objects will hold, and then you get to measure it. And that's the fun part. You get to be pouring water in and out. So we can't wait to see what you have discovered today. Now that you're finished, let's just quickly go over our learning intention and our success criteria and reflect on what we have just learned and discovered. So our learning intention was that we were learning to measure capacity using informal units. Now our informal units today, for me, was a mug. That was my measuring tool, but for you was a plastic cup or any cup that you had at home. So the success criteria was that I can use a plastic cup of water to measure different objects, and that's what you just did. So I'm going to give ourselves a big tick today because you've all done a fantastic job. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's lesson, boys and girls, and I will see you next time.